first interview after having her term as SBI Chairman extended. Arundhati Bhattacharya spoke on rates, dealing with NPAs and non-core asset sale plans. Here's an excerpt.
We had committed to about 3,000 crores during the year, of which we have done about 1,000 crores through the sale of the NSE stake. Another 2,000 crores I think we will be able to do. The two things that are under active consideration are the insurance companies. So either selling of stake or dialing up by the JV partners. I think one of these will happen, and that should enable us to get the rest for the year.
But is there any clarity on the timeline? Will it happen
within the year, as I said?
By the end of the year? Because I was
by the end of the fiscal year.
But do you think the market is conducive?
Oh, yes, yes. At this point of time, market is quite conducive.
But what about smaller businesses? They have been under a lot of stress because of high interest rates, because of not having significant and sufficient demand globally as well as within the country. Are there any particular steps that you're going to take to combat the challenge, to help them combat the challenges that they are facing?
Actually, you know, if they are part of a supply chain and if the large corporate is stressed, then it's very difficult for them to not be stressed as well. Because at the end of the day, the bills have to be paid by the people to whom they are supplying.
Exactly.
And if they are not paying the bills, well, you have a liquidity issue. And whereas you may have a working capital cycle of, say, 180 days, when that gets stretched to 360 days, most of your margins get wiped out.
Exactly.
So these are issues that have to be worked out. Again, as I said, it's not something that can be solved in isolation. It will have to happen as the economy revives. Lower interest rates will definitely help these corporates. So we are looking at what can be done over there. Of the 175 basis point cut that the Reserve Bank has done, we as a bank have passed on 95 basis points. More will get passed on in the near term rather than in the longer term. We may not have done it in big dollops of 25 basis point, but consistently month on month we have been cutting. And that is why today we can say that about 95 basis points are already passed on.
Also, this might seem a bit speculative to you, but do you think there is legroom for the RBI to further cut rates?
Well, our own in-house research indicates that the inflation numbers will keep coming down.
Right.
And if they keep coming down, surely there will be space for further rate cuts. We are aware, and RBI has said as much time and again, that they are data-driven. And if that be the case, I think the data will support further cuts.
My next question to you is that you've been given an extension of term. It's a big achievement. Congratulations to you for that. Going forward, what will be your top 3 priorities?
Well, I think the top 3 priorities I had already laid out earlier, and I don't think I'll change those right now. The priorities will remain, one of them, of course, would be the resolution of these stressed assets. The second would be to do an orderly merger, which we have already undertaken. And third, of course, to take forward the digitalization agenda. So I think these are the 3 main things, and we will continue to work on all of these areas.
Well, when you talk about merger, you have set a timeline of by the end of this fiscal, you think the merger will take place. You think you'll be able to stick to the timeline?
At this point of time, yes. We are on track. Of course, you know, we do not know of any sudden occurrences that might happen. But as of now, I think we are on track.
Well, as far as the issue of NPAs is concerned, most banks have identified, or all banks have identified the NPAs, but resolutions remains a far cry. What is the way forward, at least as far as SBI is concerned? What are you thinking about, and what is your plan?
Well, you know, there's no one plan and there is no one solution that can be done. It will have to be an account-by-account solution. So it's difficult right now, as I said, you know, to give it all in a small package. That's not how it works. But I can only assure you that we are working quite steadily towards it. We should be seeing a little more action on this front, as well as maybe some results as well. In the near term rather than in the longer term.
And what do you to your mind, are the solutions to these problems, these challenges and concerns that investors have?
Well, you know, it's difficult to give you all the solutions in a short interview. But I think we are working on them. Where demand is considered, I think there are a few triggers that we are hoping will result in better demand. And in India, where 50 to 60% of our people are actually on the land, it is very important that rural demand picks up. We are hoping on the back of a good monsoon that will happen.
Okay, that is the